Hey there, Fizz fans. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Bubble Crossed. I'm sorry that I have been away so long. It wasn't intentional. It's just a lot of things have gotten in the way. Not even going to go into it. Life has happened. But I had a wonderful message from someone here in the last few days on one of my older videos, and it woke me up and made me realize that, yeah, there are actually a few people out there, at least, who are interested in seeing what I have to say about sodas. So, to that end, today I'm here to review for you Pepsi Fire. I have the can right here. And I first saw this probably 2 months or so ago here in stores locally. First saw it in Walmart. And I've seen it in the 20-ounce bottles, and I've seen it in the 12 packs of cans. I have not seen it in the 2 liters yet. That doesn't mean that it's not put out in 2 liters, but that's all I've seen is the cans and the small bottles. I did purchase the 12 pack for myself, and I was actually kind of hesitant, to be honest, because personally, to me, I've never really cared for Pepsi. When Crystal Pepsi came out the first time, it was novel enough that I could drink it, but regular Pepsi, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but this is God's own truth. To me, it tastes like somebody opened up the can and put like a teaspoon of cold cream in it. I don't know why, no idea why, but it has always tasted that way to me. And yes, I know what cold cream tastes like, because when I was a kid, that's what my mom always used to use to remove my Halloween makeup, so it inevitably got in my mouth. So, with that said, I was a little hesitant to pick up a whole 12 pack, but I figured, this is cinnamon flavored. Hopefully it'll be enough to overwhelm the cold cream flavor. So, here we go. As I said, I did purchase this with my own money. Normally I give you background on the company, but let's face it, if you're watching this, there's a really good chance you've heard of Pepsi before. So I'm not going to go into that this time. Calorie-wise, let's see here what we have going on. We have 150 calories per can, which is this 12-ounce can. Yes. Yep, they're still doing 12 ounces. I know a lot. I don't know if you've noticed this, but a lot of companies are going to the 11.5-ounce cans. It's that famous shrinkage problem. The contents, or the ingredients rather, are carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, natural and artificial flavor, caramel color, phosphoric acid, citric acid, sodium citrate, gum arabic, caffeine, sodium benzoate, which is a preservative, potassium sorbate, another preservative, red 40, and that is all. So, and like I said, it's 150 calories, so it's pretty much the same as every other Coke and Pepsi product on the market. They're usually 140 to 150 per 12 ounces. So factor one, I think I mentioned that I've only seen it in the cans and the 20-ounce bottles. Could come in more things, don't know. But it's just a standard can, nothing special about it. Factor two, the scent. This is where I get to have fun and crack it open. I'm expecting a cinnamony scent. And there's a faint waft of cinnamon. But really, it just smells like Pepsi to me, like ordinary Pepsi. Interesting. Let's see if it smells any different once we get it in the glass. And all right, well, it's got a nice color. Look at that. It's kind of not quite dark enough to be called rosewood, but it's definitely more red and lighter than an ordinary cola. Which I know, that's factor three. I'm getting ahead of myself, but whatever. It's funny. In the glass, and even a little bit in the can, you're hearing me do this thing. I don't smell the cinnamon hardly, but it's hitting me in the back of my throat, if that makes any sense. Yeah, every time I take a waft, it hits me back there and it makes me want to cough. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah. As far as appearance goes, like I said, it's this really pretty reddish, brownish. The bubble is about average. It's a nice medium bubble. Already burping, so it's definitely well carbonated. It's a little bit on the fine side, but it's not super fine or anything like you get with a botanical. As far as mouthfeel goes, it's about normal for a soda that's sweetened with high fructose corn syrup. Some people consider it to be syrupy. It's a touch syrupy, but it's not real bad. I mean, yeah, it's no worse than any other cola as far as syrupiness goes. The sweetness, it's very sweet. And the sweetness is also very nice and natural. You know, it's obvious that there's no artificial sweeteners in this, thank goodness. That's one of the nice things about these special editions that a lot of companies are putting them out. Most of them don't come out in a diet version, which, yay. This may have a diet version, but it certainly isn't on the shelves where I live. Flavor-wise, the cinnamon it's actually not as hot on the tongue as I thought it was going to be when it hit me in the back of the throat. It's not what I would call, pardon me, it's still hitting me. It's not what I would call a natural cinnamon, though. To be honest, what this tastes like is if you took a cola, be it Pepsi, Coke, whatever. The cola in this is not pronounced enough that you can really tell it is Pepsi, which works for me because remember what I told you about not being able to stand Pepsi. But it tastes like you took a cola and then you took a handful of cinnamon Imperials, or cinnamon Red Hots, and dumped them in the can and let them dissolve. It's really sweet. It's very cinnamony, and there is a little bit of bite, but I'll be honest, I think what I've got going on with the choking right now is not not as related as it might seem. So anyway, yeah, I wouldn't call it a natural flavor at all. But that said, it's soda, so I don't usually expect natural flavors out of sodas. But it's pretty true to labeling, at least in terms of being a cinnamon cola. Let me see what it actually says about it. It says cinnamon flavored cola, natural and artificial cinnamon flavor. So there you have it. It is definitely a cinnamon flavored cola. Very, very, very cinnamon. It's almost a cinnamon soda. I mean, the phosphoric acid and the other acids in it do give it the cola bite, but it's very overwhelmed by the cinnamon, to be sure. Now the real question, what the heck would I pair this with? Gosh. It's sweet enough, I would say it'll probably stand up against a dessert. It probably, in fact, if you were to pair it with something like, say, an apple pie or an apple cobbler or something that has a cinnamon note to it, you'd probably never notice the cinnamon note in the dessert. Goodness, this is so cinnamony. But yeah, it's a good desserty drink, and As far as savory foods, I'm not sure what I would put it with. I mean, probably almost anything that you would put a regular cola with. But at the same time, because the cinnamon is so strong, I'd say maybe something salty like a ham, or I'm gonna say cheese, but I'm not sure it would go well with cheese. But yeah, ham or something along those lines, something relatively salty, because the sweet would do a good job of balancing it out. As far as my opinion goes, I like it. I know you've heard me cough and hack through this entire thing, and I apologize for that. That's actually what happened was, well, anyway, it triggered a little bit of something going on in the back of my throat, which was already there. So I don't want you to think that it's super hot. That said, if you're really sensitive to hot cinnamon, you probably won't like this. It is a pretty strong cinnamon. But if you can handle a couple of cinnamon imperials in your mouth at the same time, you'll probably be fine with it. Because literally, that's what it tastes like. It tastes like you opened a can of cola, dumped in the imperials, and just let them melt. And you pick it back up again, and it's not as defizzed as it would be if you had done that. But otherwise, it's dead on for the flavor. So yeah, I like it, which is saying something because, like I said, doing anything that covers up the cold cream flavor of Pepsi to me is A-okay in my book. So there you have it. My first review in months. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate it if you could like or comment or subscribe or all three. There's no law that says you can't do all three. And also, if you could check out my Patreon page, that would be fabulous as well. And pardon me, it's busy. I am going to try to get these up more often. I really do have a backlog of sodas and seltzers that I want to review for you. So I'm going to try to get these up more often for you. And in the meantime, while I'm working on that, I hope y'all have a great day and stay fizzy.